Hey guys, it's a lovely Sunday and it's me again, your average, not super awesome, fairly interesting next door local vlogger, Sheila, in case you don't know me yet. And as promised, I'm making another video this weekend to hopefully put out something that could be useful to someone somewhere out there. So today I'm gonna talk about the relevance of the videos that I'll be making from here on moving forward. So, how are my videos going to be relevant to anybody else's lives? I'm very tempted to say, guys, that relevance is essentially given for any human being. What I'm trying to say is, me being a human being, whatever experiences I might be having, someone else in the vast universe could also be having. So, that in itself is already relevance. But if you would want me to specify, then I'm going to talk about particular topics that I will be very much inclined to talk about on my future videos. One of those would be things about life, realizations, lessons in life, things that I pull from my own experiences that I feel could be very useful in helping someone else go through their own challenges and inner battles, perhaps. So that's one thing. So life talks. Another thing could be anything about communication. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert, I'm very far from being one. Although I would say I have a certain inclination into talking, communicating, or expressing yourself in general, and I might be able to talk about a thing or two that you could perhaps learn something from, or maybe we could just share things that we've learned along the way when it comes to communicating better and reaching out to people. Now, another thing or another topic that I may later on talk about will be personal things, maybe about me or anything interesting that I might find worth sharing along the way. So, relevance, that answers it. Today, let's start by talking about how to be a cooler communicator. So I'm not saying you should be perfect. We are not linguists in the first place, so we would not have to be as awesome as them. But how to be a cooler communicator, meaning hopefully someone out there may find worth listening to or interesting in such a degree. So the first tip that I have for you, number one, appreciate stutters, pauses, fillers, and the creative word choice. What do I mean about that? Meaning, a speech is not really so much of a very interesting one, I feel, if it's too perfect. It removes the human touch in those kinds of pieces. If you stutter, if you at any point group for words, you pause and try to look for the right words to say, or you have a very interesting, very creative, personal style of word usage, then those are things that are very welcome, in fact. It makes the speech raw, it makes it very authentic, it makes it real. So appreciate those. You don't have to be very flawless in order to appeal to whoever is listening or watching you. So appreciate those, guys. Those are very interesting spices of speech that I would say will be very welcome and will never in any way reduce the quality of whatever you're talking about. Second tip is we do have to work on refining our pronunciation. So, of course, there are a lot of different ways of pronouncing different words, and that could be dependent on where you came from, where or how you've learned your communication from or with. Maybe it has something to do with the American English or the British English or our local English or however that would have been. So, what I'm saying is that diction overall, or how you would generally say and pronounce words, how you'd put stress on different words, or how you uniquely say them, beautifully say them, if I would say, would really help out a lot so that you could sound a lot more interesting and cooler as a communicator. And lastly, guys, grow your vocab. So there's no better way to sound like you're knowledgeable than to really stock yourself up of those necessary knowledge. How do you do that? So one, what I do is I watch a lot of different series, the things that feature the themes that I'm interested about, such as crime solving, detective series. I would probably watch Supernaturals is something that I also watch because I'm interested in the supernatural mystery of the world and the entities that also cohabitate with us. I do believe in those. I don't mean to scare you, but basically those are things that would interest me. So crime fighting, crime solving, of course, you know, I'm a fan of Sherlock Holmes, and I watch a lot of CSI series. Psych is a good old series that have humor and a lot of great stuff in it, and it's also about crime solving, but I love it. Now, I don't just watch, I also read. And when it comes to reading, I do prefer reading mystery novels, as what you may have already known. So I love reading horror novels. I don't really have any particular preference as to whoever might write it or should write it. I could read anything that revolves around those kinds of themes. But right now, I'm reading books by Barbara Michaels because I find her style very interesting. So it draws me to really imagining the setting, the mood, or whatever is happening in the mystery story. So I'm very much drawn to mystery novels in general. So you may also want to interest yourself in reading things that revolve around topics, subjects that would interest you, and that would help you enrich your vocabulary, the words that you know about, or and the words that you'd get to eventually use when you would be talking or when you engage in different communication stints along the way. So, as a review, one is appreciate stutters, pauses, and creative word choices. Those are normal and those are completely fine. Two, refine your pronunciation. And three, grow your vocabulary. Those are it. So I hope those are a little bit useful and helpful. And I want to say goodbye and wish you a very beautiful Sunday. Enjoy, everyone. Bye bye.